Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through mountains of information to bring you the golden nuggets you need. This Deep Dive is brought to you by the Morss Global Finance podcast team, and I'm John, your guide for today's journey. With me, as always, is the amazing Tiffany.
It's great to be here.
Today, we're diving headfirst into precious metals investing. We're going to get up close and personal with two of the biggest names in the game, Kitco and APMEX. We'll explore what makes them tick, what sets them apart, and who they might be the perfect fit for. So basically, we'll give you the tools to navigate this sparkling world. So Tiffany, these are both big names, but their stories are surprisingly different, don't you think?
You're right, they really are. Kitco, for example, was founded way back in 1977, and they were tech-savvy from the get-go.
Like seriously ahead of their time.
Oh yeah, just imagine this. They were putting out real-time metal prices and news online in the 70s, back when most people were still trying to wrap their heads around the whole computer thing. Being early adopters of technology really shaped who they are.
It's like they had a crystal ball and saw how crucial digital access would be for the precious metals market.
Exactly. And that forward-thinking approach is still evident in their platforms today. They've always been ahead of the curve, which is huge in a market that moves as fast as this one.
Then you've got APMEX coming from a completely different angle. They started with a family's passion for coin collecting.
In Oklahoma, no less.
It's a classic story.
Yeah.
A hobby grows into a giant online retailer. And it took them, what, 2 decades?
Yeah, around that.
Wow.
And you know what? That personal touch is still a core part of who they are. They're known for their amazing customer service, and they really focus on building relationships with their clients.
Okay, so we've got Kitco, the tech-savvy pioneer, and APMEX, the customer-focused giant. Makes you wonder if their different beginnings affect what they offer.
It's a really good question. I mean, they both offer the staples, gold and silver, in all the usual forms. But then things get interesting. Kitco goes a bit off the beaten path, offering rhodium.
Rhodium. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Well, it's one of the rarest and most expensive precious metals out there. It's a silvery white metal, and it has a really high melting point. Kitco offering something so specialized shows just how deep their market knowledge runs, and that they're catering to a specific kind of clientele.
So if Kitco's about niche offerings, what's APMEX's specialty?
APMEX is all about having a huge variety. They have something like 20,000 different products. It's crazy. You can find anything from bullion, which is like gold or silver in bar or coin form, to rare coins that collectors obsess over.
So a treasure trove for numismatists. Something for everyone.
Pretty much.
So maybe Kitco's more for the specialist, and APMEX might be better for the collector, or maybe someone who wants a wider range of options.
That's a great way to put it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Both companies offer IRA-eligible metals.
Wait, you tell me I can put gold and silver in my retirement plan? That's a thing.
Yep. It's a thing. And it's getting more and more popular, especially with all the worries about inflation and the market being so unpredictable. Having precious metals in your IRA basically helps you guard against those risks. You know, it potentially makes your long-term financial strategy more stable.
Okay, this is already more complicated than I expected and way more exciting. We've got Kitco, the tech OG, offering these specialized metals like rhodium catering to a niche group. Then there's APMEX, the customer service champion, with this insane selection and a focus on building those relationships. And they both let you sprinkle some gold into your retirement savings. But I have a feeling we're just scratching the surface.
Oh, absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to uncover. Stay tuned because we're going to explore all the cool services they offer beyond just buying and selling. We'll compare fees and look at what people are saying online. We're going to make sure you have all the info you need to choose between these two heavyweights. What really sets Kitco and APMEX apart is they don't just stop at buying and selling. They've got all these extra services that can really make a difference, especially if you're new to precious metals.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Spill the beans. What kind of services are we talking about?
Well, with Kitco, they've got this thing called Kitco Pool. It's pretty cool, actually. You can own gold, silver, platinum, you know, the real deal, but without having to store it yourself.
So it's like owning stocks, but for actual physical precious metals.
Yeah, kind of. It's like having this digital vault. All your precious metals are safe and sound, but you don't have to worry about the logistics of keeping it all secure at home.
That's way better than having a safe full of gold bars under my bed.
Exactly. It just simplifies everything and gives you peace of mind. And that's not all. Kitco also has secure storage options in different countries, so you can spread out your holdings geographically. Plus, their media arm is amazing. They've got Kitco News, Kitco Mining. Even Kitco Crypto. It's like a one-stop shop for information and analysis.
Wow, so with Kitco, you're not just buying metal, you're tapping into a whole network of market knowledge. That's pretty impressive.
It really is. But APMEX is no slouch either. They've made setting up a precious metals IRA super easy. You can easily transfer funds from your existing accounts and diversify your retirement portfolio. And get this, for storage, they team up with Citadel, which is guarded by Brinks. Talk about security.
Brinks, that name just screams security, like armored trucks and serious
I know,
business.
right? And they've also got this auto invest program. It lets you build your precious metals portfolio gradually over time. So it's perfect if you don't want to be constantly checking the market or prefer a hands-off approach.
So, whether you're a DIY investor or someone who wants things on autopilot, both companies have got you covered. But let's be real, all this convenience and security probably comes at a price. What about fees? Are we talking about breaking the bank just to access these services?
That's a good question. And the good news is both companies are pretty upfront about their fees. Shipping is straightforward, and they both offer free shipping once you spend a certain amount.
Makes sense. But what about insurance? We're talking about valuable stuff here. That's got to add up.
Oh, for sure. Insurance is a must, and both companies offer it. It's usually calculated as a percentage of the metal's value. It might seem like an extra cost, but it's worth it for the peace of mind, just in case something happens during shipping or while it's being stored.
You're right. Better safe than sorry. Anything else we should know about fees? Any sneaky hidden costs?
One key difference is that Kitco doesn't handle IRA services directly, so there aren't any fees for setting up or managing a precious metals IRA through them. But you'll probably need to find a custodian who specializes in self-directed IRAs.
So with Kitco, you might have that extra step of finding a custodian. While with APMEX, it's all in-house, but you've got those Citadel storage fees. It's all about choosing what works best for you. But what about the experience overall? Are people happy with these companies?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. The online reviews for both Kitco and APMEX are a bit of a mixed bag. You'll find glowing reviews praising their customer service and how easy they are to use and their products. But then you've also got complaints about shipping delays and concerns about pricing and sometimes even issues with customer support.
Okay, so how do we make sense of all these different opinions? It sounds a little risky.
It shows why you shouldn't always take online reviews at face value. They can be helpful, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. It's important to do your own research, compare what different companies offer and make a decision that aligns with your needs and how much risk you're comfortable with.
Solid advice. So before we head into the final round, let's recap. We've got Kitco, the tech-savvy veteran with their awesome digital platform and a focus on specialized metals. They've got Kitco Pool for easy ownership and tons of market information through their media stuff.
And then there's APMEX, known for putting the customer first, their huge selection of products, and a super easy IRA setup process. Plus, they offer that high security storage through Citadel with Brinks keeping watch.
They both sound amazing, honestly. But I'm guessing they each have their quirks, too. What are some things investors should watch out for?
Well, with Kitco, the main thing seems to be availability. Some products, especially the rare or specialized metals, can be hard to get your hands on.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it can be frustrating if you're ready to buy and have to wait. Shipping costs can also be a bit high, especially for smaller orders. And there have been a few reports of delays, so you might need to be patient.
Okay, so with Kitco, it's like a trade-off. You get these unique products and cool technology, but you might have to wait and pay a bit more for shipping. But about APMEX, any potential downsides there?
Well, the main one seems to be pricing. Their prices tend to be a little higher than some other online gold dealers. Basically, you're paying a premium for the great service, the huge selection, and the smooth experience.
You often get what you pay for, right? Anything else to keep in mind?
Like we said earlier, the customer feedback is mixed. While a lot of people love them, a decent number of complaints mention shipping delays and costs. It seems to be a recurring theme in this industry.
So with APMEX, you get the peace of mind, the great service, and tons of choices. But you might need to stretch your budget a bit. Sounds like there's no perfect answer. It all comes down to what matters most to you.
You got it. The better company really depends on your own needs and what you value in a precious metals provider.
This has been super helpful. We've covered their backgrounds, what they offer, their special services, potential fees, and even what customers are saying to get a complete picture of both Kitco and APMEX.
It's been a great journey into the world of precious metals investing, and hopefully everyone listening feels like they can make smart choices based on their own situation.
That's what we're all about. We've given you the knowledge. Now it's time for you to take charge and explore this exciting world. But before we wrap up, one last thing to consider. Lots of experts think that precious metals, especially gold, are a safe bet when things are uncertain economically. So maybe now is the perfect time to add a little shine to your portfolio.
It's definitely worth thinking about. With inflation and all the market ups and downs, precious metals might be a good way to add some stability and security.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of precious metals investing with Kitco and APMEX. We hope you found it valuable. Until next time, happy investing.